The Bible Historiale was the predominant medieval translation of the Bible into French. It translates from the Latin Vulgate significant portions from the Bible accompanied by selections from the Historia Scholastica by Peter Comestor, a literal, historical commentary that summarizes and interprets episodes from the historical books of the Bible and situates them chronologically, with respect to events from pagan history and mythology. Authorship. The composite work is organized into parts labeled text, i.e., from the Bible, gloss, offering interpretations based on the Historia Scholastica, other authoritative commentaries of the translator's own opinion, incidents, which insert parallel histories from pagan history and mythology, and histories, passages directly translated from Comestor's work. It was composed between 1291 and 1295 by priest and canon Guy des Moulins, who added a prologue in 1297 announcing his recent election as dean of his canonical chapter at the Collegial Church of St. Pierre, sur la Lys, describing his own role as translating and/or ordering the text. Guy censored or omitted portions of the Bible that should not, according to reason, be translated, rearranged materials so that the laity might find them better ordered, and, on rare occasions, added further commentaries of his own or from other sources to produce the work known as the Bible Historiale. Copies. The work was copied in many manuscripts, of which more than 100 survive, most of them richly illuminated, some with more than 300 miniatures. Genesis is typically especially heavily illustrated. In this respect, it is similar to other vernacular medieval redactions of the Bible such as the Bible Moralisae, Biblia Pauperum and Speculum Humani Salvationis. It differed from these, however, in containing extended direct translations from the Bible. The French name is usually used in English, at least partly because scholars differ as to whether historial should be translated as historical or historiated. Contents vary tremendously among manuscript copies. Guy des Moulins did not translate the entire Bible. He seems to have only treated the historical books of the Bible, abridged versions of Job and Proverbs and the combined Gospels based on Peter Comestor's Historia Evangelica, as early as 1317. However, Paris bookshops began adding books from other translations, mainly the one known as the 13th century Bible of the University of Paris Bible, to expand the French Bible over several stages to conform to the canonical Vulgate. Samuel Berger categorized the manuscripts into 4 main families according to the contents, although many 15th-century copies resist categorization for their inclusion of new glosses, prologues and other additions from a variety of sources. These have been further categorized and described by Klaus Sneddon. One manuscript, London, British Library Royal MS 19d3, includes some apocryphal stories whose translation is also attributed to Guyot. Some of the most lavish 14th and early 15th century manuscripts are luxury copies commissioned by bibliophile magnates. A royalty, John, Duke of Berry, owned at least 8, with other notable patrons including Mauer, Countesses of Artois, Joan III, Countess of Burgundy, and several kings of France, including Charles V and John II, whose first copy was captured with him at the Battle of Poitiers. King Charles VIII of France, near the end of his life, ordered it to be printed. The text for the print edition was prepared by Jean de Arquetel and first published by Antoine Verriard in 1496 and subsequently printed in later editions, in Paris and Lyon well into the 16th century, even alongside a host of competing translations produced by the Protestant Reformation. It was also widely owned, in manuscript and print, in England, Flanders and modern-day Belgium, and today one may find copies in libraries around the world. other versions. While the Bible Historiale was by far the most popular medieval French translation of the Bible, it was not the first. Verse adaptations of the Bible first appeared in the latter part of the 12th century, with more or less complete prose French Bibles appearing in the mid-13th century. These were the 13th century Bible, probably completed between 1230 and 1250 at the University of Paris, and the Acre Bible, written between 1250 and 1254 in the Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem. The 13th century Bible survives in 4 complete or near-complete copies and a significant number of single volumes and fragments, in addition to parts of it being used to supplement the Bible Historiale. French bibliography. Estberger, Le Bible romain au Moyen Age, Bibles provençales, Vortices, Catalanes, Italiens, Castellanes et Portugaises, Genève, Slatkin reprints, 1977. Histoire de la Vulgate pendant les premiers siècles du Moyen Age, Paris, Hachette, 1893. De l'Histoire de la Vulgate en France. Leçon d'ouverture faite le 4 November 1887, Paris, Fischbacher, 1887. Des essais qui ont été écoutes faits Paris au 13e siècle pour corriger le texte de la Vulgate, Paris, Fischbacher, 1887. La Bible française au Moyen Âge. Études sur les plus anciennes versions de la Bible écrites en prose de langue d'Oil, Genève, Slatkin reprints, 1967. Gare des Moulins Bible Historiale à Bible française, édition de Jean de Rely, 1543. J.J. Rive, Le Chassé aux Antiquaires et Bibliographies mal avancées, Londres, Anaphobe, 1787. P. Paris, Les Manuscrits Français de la Bibliothèque du Roi, Paris, Techna, Place du Louvre, 1836, I7. M. Queroy, La Bible Française du siècle, édition critique de la Genèse, Genève, Droz, Publications Romaines et Françaises, 1988. XL, Salvador Vérité et Écriture, Paris, Champion, 2005. L'utilisation du pont dans la théologie chrétienne médiévale, Les ponts au Moyen Âge, Paris, Presses universitaires de France, 2005. La réécriture argumentative impliquée par la traduction du livre de la Genèse. L'exemple des énoncés carcu dans the medieval translator, The Theory and Practice of Translation in the Middle Ages. R. Ellis, Paris, Brepols, 2005. L'Incinte sacrée des traductions vulgaires de la Bible au Moyen Âge. La clôture actes du colloque qui s'est déroulé à Bologne et à Florence les 8, 9 et 10 mai 2003. Préface de Claude Thomaset. Textes are écoutes unies par Xavier Laurent Salvador, Bologna Club, 2005. L'exemple de Rachef dans la traduction de la Bible Historiale, actes des exigènes et d'anciennes de moyen français. En cours de publication. Une autre définition de l'étymologie. D'un livre dans la Bible au Moyen Âge mélanges en l'honneur de Claude Thomaset, Paris, Presses universitaires de Paris Sorbonne, 2003. Les Biblimes. Un système de définition original du lexique dans le discours pédagogique de la Bible Historiale. Dans la psicologia et la psicographia nell'historia degli insegnamenti linguistici, quaed erni del Cercial 2, 14-15 November 2003, Bologna, http, AMS Acta, CIB, Unibo, IT Archive, 000931, des coffres hébraïques aux bougades françaises, la translation du sacré à travers les traductions médiévales de la Bible.
coffres et contenants au Moyen Age, Paris, Presses Universitaires de France, en cours de parution, F. Viard, Compte rendu de l'édition de la Bible du G. Romania, en degree 109, p. 131 to 137.